I think the most fun I had in this movie was looking for Easter eggs.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ben's I've Fallen to My Death and My Blind Son Was the Only One to Witness It channel. Saw a few movies last week. First up, I watched FNAF, which I really enjoyed. A lot of the woke critics are really hating on this one, but I personally had a blast seeing Fazbear's Pizzeria on the big screen. Chica, Foxy, and Bonnie looked insanely badass, and the animatronics were epic.
Sir, you've been diagnosed with Fazbear sclerosis. We'll have to remove the frontal lobe.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have the Gen Z broccoli haircut, and I wasn't born in 2009, so I can't say that I really enjoyed this. I mean, shit, props to Jason Blum for not wasting a bunch of money while making something that most FNAF fans seem to generally like. But yeah, for the uninitiated who don't really care about hunting for Easter eggs and would rather hunt for things like good filmmaking, yeah, there's not much of that to find in FNAF. Like, the cinematography is pretty shit. When it doesn't look like a video that someone shot in their backyard on an iPhone, it just looks like an episode of Stranger Things. It's just got that gross, flat, straight-to-streaming sheen to it. The film is also about as exciting as watching paint dry. It's a horror movie that basically tries to not be a horror movie. It really takes PG-13 scares to a whole nother level.
The filmmakers tread the line masterfully, ensuring a PG-13 rating.
And yeah, as someone who knew jack shit about FNAF, I kind of assumed that these Chuck E. Cheese guys were supposed to be like vicious killers or something, but no, they're just sitting around chilling for most of the movie. Like, there's multiple musical numbers, there's some scene where Josh Hutcherson's sister goes up to them and is just like, "They're my friends."
What?
And yeah, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, where more or less nothing actually happens until the fifth night, and in the meantime, we just get a bunch of boring, repetitive flashback scenes of Josh Hutcherson remembering his long-lost brother.
He basically comes back as a ghost.
Additionally, the villain's motivation makes pretty much zero sense. Like, did Shaggy really take the painstaking time to become a career counselor just so he could get Josh Hutcherson to become a security guard so that he could kill his sister? Seems like kind of a waste of time. Couldn't he have just done that any other way? But bruh, it's a plot twist, bro. Additionally, the subplot of the aunt trying to gain custody was also nothing but filler garbage. And yeah, this storyline definitely peaked during the restaurant scene with Matt Pat's cameo. I get the impression that he might not actually have any real acting skills, but that's just a theory. And yeah, I'm gonna keep things pretty surface level with this one because it's really just not worth my time to discuss the FNAF movie in depth. Like, you're either gonna like it or hate it. As someone who didn't have any attachment to the source material, it was really just one big pile of nothing. There was no horror, there was no mystery, it wasn't thrilling. The correct genre for this movie would be meandering borefest. And yeah, shout out to the Chad, Jeremy Johns, for giving this dog shit like it deserves.
Dog shit.
Actually, I've changed my mind. If you don't like this movie because it's bad, that's actually your own fault. Like, you should have read 5 FNAF encyclopedias before watching this in order to actually enjoy it.
If I don't know Five Nights at Freddy's, that's my own fault for going into it and not enjoying it. It's not the filmmaker's fault, it's not the movie's fault. It's my fault as the viewer for not understanding it because it's made for the fans.
Guys, I had a blast watching this piece of shit film.
So I go into it not knowing anything about it, and I had a blast watching it.
A crazy blast.
You know what, Jeremy? If you like it, that's fine. I don't, and it's terrible.
If you like it, that's fine. I don't, and it's terrible.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. Really enjoyed the credits song to this as well from circa 2014.
What the fuck?
You can see how it paved the way for Eminem's work on Venom. Yeah, anyways, I'll give this a very generous 2 out of 10, and we'll reserve the 1 for the piss-covered floor of cinema. Next up, I also watched Anatomy of a Fall, which was quite good. It's quite good.
It's quite good. It's quite good.
Certainly a step up from a lot of the flavor of the week award season movies that we've been getting for the past couple years. I kind of hate praising acting in movies because it gets boring and repetitive, but Sandra Puller, however it's pronounced, is pretty great in this film. The Oscars can obviously eat shit, but yeah, if she were to get nominated, I certainly wouldn't have any complaints. Definitely my favorite actress in a leading role from this year so far. The film strikes a really good balance dramatically, where it doesn't feel like some muted flatline like Past Lives, but also doesn't cross into being some melodramatic nonsense.
I still love you!
What?
There's a level of realism to the film that makes it quite engaging. The music use is excellent. It's pretty much entirely diegetic. It didn't rely on stock music slop for the emotional scenes, and at points manages to create a pretty great juxtaposition to what's happening on screen. And yeah, I typically don't care for courtroom dramas. It's a pretty rancid and boring genre. It's exemplified by the Kane Mutiny court-martial last month.
Bullshit.
But yeah, in this film it works because it's very character-driven, and the courtroom is just a natural extension of the story that doesn't take up the entire film. Very solid direction overall, a lot of great creative choices in this. Like, the film knows when a scene benefits from having a visual component, but also knows when it benefits from just keeping things purely audio-focused. Tons of great editing moments in this. I can't remember which one, but there's either a cut to black or a fade at the end of the first act, and it sets off the second act really nicely. And I gotta say, too many movies recently have not embraced having a clearly defined 3-act structure, which is unfortunate because it helps to give a feeling of progression in the story. You actually feel like it's building towards something instead of just drowning in one nebulous blob of a first act. Some very interesting shot choices and memorable camera work as well, and yeah, no spoilers, but I really like the way that this film ends. It could have easily taken a turn and ruined things at the last second by pandering to general audiences, but it thankfully doesn't, and the film is much better off because of it. And yeah, I could go on, but I'll leave it there. Kind of sounds like I'm raving about it, probably just because genuinely good films have been an absolute rarity in the past few years, but yeah, either way, it's been sitting well in the memory for me since I saw it, and yeah, who knows, might go from good to great on a second viewing, but regardless, super solid.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, it was a major treat.
It's quite good. It's quite good.
Lastly, I also watched The Holdovers, which is not out yet till next week. Bruh, I got a critic screening. Yeah, rest assured, Universal certainly did not pay me to see their film. But yeah, this was exactly what I thought it'd be. It was good enough. It was a crowd pleaser, but not to the point of being offensively awful.
This is me. Wow, this is garbage.
Like, not to strawman anyone who's loving this film, but Joe Normie, who only goes to see 3 movies a year, is going to absolutely love this. It's a very safe film that's definitely elevated by Paul Giamatti, who's pretty much great in everything. Narratively, it's the most basic shit you've ever seen. It's pretty much the standard, they don't like each other, but now they're friends by the end of the film. Which is quite difficult to pull off because it's really one of the most stale storylines in cinema. What helps is that the progression of the characters' relationship in this feels a bit more natural and gradual than in most of these types of films. Like, it doesn't just jump from them hating each other to instantly being friends because, oh shit, it's the second to third act transition and we forgot to write a competent screenplay. Screw it, they're friends! And yeah, the movie has a nice filmic look to it. They definitely did what I suspected by just slapping an iMovie grain filter on it, but it looked good. And yeah, what can I say? You get a bit of light comedy, solid acting, there's a bit of forced emotion and the film is about 10 minutes too long, but when it's all said and done, you walk out of it not needing to throw yourself off an overpass. Like, I can't stress enough just how much of a light 6 this is. But yeah, it's not a bad one watch. Anyways, next week, we got The Killer, potentially Dream Scenario, though I'm still not seeing showtimes for it, and of course, the Marvels.
Dog shit.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
I'm also seeing whatever the hell AMC Screen Unseen ends up being. So maybe that'll be the Marvels, or maybe that'll be the latest mid-film from Take What It. Or maybe it will just be a complete scam where they just screen FNAF even though it's already out, because it is the exact runtime. Which in that case, I will bail from the theater instantly and upload a completely unhinged rant about AMC wasting my time. Either way, leave your thoughts on any of these films, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
I'm blind.
No shit!
So I go into it not knowing anything about it, and I had a blast watching it.